Welcome to Raider Talks. I am your host, Art Navarrete, here alongside Nick Ibarra. We are here a couple days after the pretty good Hall of Fame game. Raiders showed out, played pretty well. We like what we saw from the Raiders. But today we're going to talk a little bit about the critics. Most critics, anyways.
Yeah.
Most critics, they respect the Raiders, but it seems like they don't believe in them because a lot of people say the Raiders are looking good, Raiders are good. But they're going to be fourth place in division.
Yeah.
They have the worst quarterback, worst lines. But I just want to talk about that a little bit. Why are they saying these things? Why do you think they're saying these things? Why do we think they're saying these things? And then we're going to talk a little bit about the supporters, like Rich Eisen, the main huge supporter for the Raiders. And then a couple other ones. Skip Bayless supported us a little bit a day after the Hall of Fame game. And then, obviously, David Carr's in the...
You got David Carr, Maurice Jones-Drew, even James Jones. They all tied to the Raiders. So
they all tied to the Raiders. A little bit of a bias there.
Yeah.
Well, from what people think is a bias, but I think they like the Raiders.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like the Raiders. But I want to hear your opinion on that.
Yeah, no, it's... I've been saying it all off season. We are a second place team in the AFC West. And, you have, and I'm talking about the AFC West here, with the addition of, I think, just Russell Wilson, Khalil Mack, and maybe J.C. Jackson. You mean to tell me those three acquisitions right there in the AFC West and the departure of Tyreek Hill, you go out and get the best receiver in the game, drops us 2 spots. Everybody climbs up, and it drops us 2 spots, 4th place. Now, all of a sudden, we're the worst team in the AFC West, and we're going to be, lucky to get 6-7 wins. It doesn't make sense a little bit, because Justin Herbert was there last year. He didn't make the playoffs. Russell Wilson, I think Seattle maybe was a tiny bit more, had weapons than this Denver Broncos team, and he comes in and all of a sudden he's the savior. He's going to go do this. He's going to do that. It's Super Bowl or bust. I don't think so. I still think we are the second best team in the AFC West because I am still going to give respect to the Chiefs of, hey, this is your guys' division. Now we're going to go take it from you, but this is your guys' division until we take it from you. But I think just everybody's just on that hype of, Chargers got better, with 2 players on defense, or, Russell Wilson, and, some people are even, hey, Denver might take it first this year and go all the way, and I don't think you can do that from a 4th place team to a 1st place team and go all the way when just with one quarterback who didn't go to the playoffs last year.
Yeah, it seems like they're respecting us. They're not going to talk too much trash or anything because we are a good football team.
Yeah.
They see the good players we have. They think we could do something, but they don't believe in us. They don't believe that we can, with all this talent, we can take 1st place in division.
Yeah.
We can even make a wild card spot. They're saying they're saying that they think 3 teams can come out of this AFC West, and they're not counting Raiders as one of them.
Yeah. It came out before the Hall of Fame game and everything. A lot of people were coming out with their predictions. Everybody had us 7-9 wins, no playoff spot. I think theirs had it maybe 10-11, get you a playoff spot. Denver was in there, whatever. And I think even ESPN or NFL came out today, and the projected top 5 teams, and Denver and Chargers and the Chiefs were in there in the AFC, and not us. We didn't take a big step back, and when you go get the best wide receiver in the game, I think it get you forward, and this is something that we needed, and I honestly think we're going to win the division this year. So
not only an upgrade at wide receiver, I think we got an upgrade in Chandler Jones over Yannick Ngakoue. I think Derek Carr is going to be better, but maybe the biggest acquisition is Josh McDaniels.
Yeah,
he's going to be the guy that can take us over the top, get us over the hump. Because Josh McDaniels is a better coach than Gruden was last year, and is a better coach than Rich Bisaccia was.
Oh, yeah.
Rich Bisaccia was just a motivator.
Yeah.
Gruden's team.
Yeah.
Gruden, it looked like Gruden had his old 2000 playbook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing really creative. It seemed like Carr always had to make tight throws and good throws.
Yeah.
And seeing this first preseason games, you see a lot of guys open.
Yes. Yeah. I think just our whole organization just changed. you know, and it started with McDaniels and our GM. Just, hey, you guys are going to come in. They made some moves right away, and you felt it. You know, and I think you felt it at their press conferences, just what they were talking about, what they were doing, how excited they were, even how excited Mark Davis was talking.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, we've seen it, and, you know, we saw it, you know, at the Hall of Fame game. It just looks different. It looks cleaner. It looks a lot nicer.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the biggest things that people are basing these things off of is the quarterback position.
Yeah.
They're saying we have the fourth best or fourth worst quarterback in the division, whatever you want to say. And I think there's only one response to that. Only 2 out of 4 of these quarterbacks made the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
And who was it?
Derek Carr and Patrick Mahomes.
That's it. Did Russell Wilson make the playoffs?
No.
Did Justin Herbert make the playoffs?
No.
Who beat Justin Herbert to go to the playoffs?
Carr did.
Justin Herbert had a hell of a game. I'm gonna be the first to admit it.
Oh, yeah.
But Derek Carr beat him.
Yeah.
And now Derek Carr even has more weapons than he did last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Chargers upgraded on offense.
No, they didn't. And I think that's the thing. They just assume Herbert's going to take a massive step forward. You know, and that's the whole big thing. That's their argument is, you know, Chargers, they got Khalil, which has been hurt.
Yeah.
Been off the field for some time now.
Mm-hmm.
J.C. Jackson, which he's a good cornerback, but as you know,
but he's not the top cornerback in the league.
But
he's not going to stop Renfro. He's not going to stop Devontae. He's not going to stop Waller. He's not going to stop anybody.
You know, you still got to see if he's going to fit their scheme and fit their system.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, you just bring in those 2 guys and that one you hope Herbert takes another step forward and just everybody around him takes that step forward.
Yeah. It don't matter. He's going to be good next year.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to take a step forward. He's going to take a leap because he's a young rookie.
Yeah.
Not a rookie, but he's a young quarterback going into his 3rd year now.
Yeah.
Herbert's good. I'm not going to lie. But I think the weapons we have, I think the playbook we're going to have now over the playbooks we've had in prior years is just going to change the game for us. I think we got way more things that are upgraded than they do.
Oh, yeah. You know,
and we were a playoff team last year, and we beat them to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think defense is going to be a whole lot better. I think you just said it. I think Carr's going to be a whole lot better. I mean, you know, you go get his best friend in Devontae. That room already looks better, you know. And, you know, I said this on the pregame show for Jags. You know, every corner in the Raiders locker room wants a Devontae, you know, and picking his brain and just learning off of him, you know, learning his moves, you know, because this is the best wide receiver in the game. And if, you know, they're going to practice against him and get better, you know, he's making that side of the ball better too, you know. And
yeah, I mean, I'll be the first to say, you know, people are talking crap about Carr, saying he's the 4th worst quarterback. Okay, whatever. I'll be the first to admit that when Carr does good, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna give him his respect. But when Carr does bad, I'm gonna put that out there as well.
Yeah,
because I'm at the quarterback position. A lot rides on you, and I think you're gonna get criticized the most just naturally.
Yeah,
and that's what should happen. But to be fair, Carr hasn't had really a great playbook since 2016, a great coordinator since 2016.
Yeah.
So how can we really judge? Because it seems like Carr has to make great throws for us to go downfield, instead of having like open throws like Mahomes, open throws like even Herbert and their offense.
Because, you know, and you just look and it just, you know, it seems like, you know, if you do Chargers, it seems like Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are just always open. You know, and it's making Herbert look good, you know, and with Mahomes, it just seems like, I mean, I know Tyreek was, you know, it's fast, but it seems like Tyreek and Kelsey, they're just always open. You know, they're just wide open. You know,
yeah.
we even can make that throw.
And it's the it's the schemes of Andy Reid.
Yes.
It's the schemes of Staley. It's the schemes of these guys that make them open. And it seems like Gruden didn't have the schemes the last couple of years to get people open like that. But Josh McDaniels does have the ability to do that.
And I think that's why you saw, you know, I think in Carr's whole, you know, career, there's been a lot of close games, a lot of fourth quarter comebacks.
Yes.
Because of all that, you know, and I'm hoping this year, you know, there's a little change and where we can watch Raider games and relax and calm down by the third corner and be like, all right, cool, you know, we got this wrapped up in the back because we haven't done that.
Every game is like game of the year.
Yeah,
every game is like game of the year.
If we're gonna win, Every game is game of the year.
Every game's a roller coaster. Every game I have a massive headache. Have to take some ibuprofen after the game because my head is spinning. I mean, it's just Raider games are crazy. Yeah, and hopefully, maybe this can.
You just hope that this year with the whole scheme coordinator, Josh McDaniels, that it's just like we saw it a lot more cleaner, a lot more nicer, and just a lot more things open up. Yeah. And I think, when you have Renfrow, Waller, and Devontae, it's going to open up a whole lot more, and it's just, I think now the question is, can the line hold up and give Carr a little bit of time, and whoever our running backs are going to be, if it's Jacobs, Zamir White, Abdullah, Drake, those guys, you're going to give them holes and Bolden too. I mean, this could be crazy, and this offense could be where we look back and say, man, that's a really good offense. That's a top offense in NFL history, maybe. Yeah,
and that's kind of a rebuttal for the quarterback position. I mean, I think Carr's better than Russell Wilson right now, anyways. Like without even a rebuttal, without even having to argue about anything. But I do think Mahomes, Herbert, really good, and I think Carr could be right up there with them this year. Yeah, I mean, I think Mahomes didn't have the greatest year last year, but he's still one of the best in the league. Most talented, can make the craziest throws. And I think Herbert's kind of on that trajectory as well. Yeah. But Carr's just right there with them. If not far behind, I'll tell you that right now.
Well, and I'm even going to go like this. I mean, Carr's 2-1 against Herbert. So however you want to say it or however you want to do it, Carr's 2-1 against Herbert. Last year, a big game, and Carr beat him. So, I mean, as it goes, I think right now in the division, in my eyes, I think you got Mahomes, Carr, Herbert, and then Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, if you do want to say those guys are better, I mean, Russell Wilson's not better. I don't care what anyone says. But if you want to say those guys are better, then okay, they might be better, but they're not way better. They're not like their Carr's right in that rear view mirror. It's not like, and Carr can take the leap and be just better this year because he has this new offensive plan going into there, and he can be an MVP candidate. He has an MVP type of he has an MVP type of ability. Yeah, really, and it can happen. So he's right up there with all those guys. And then the next thing is the offensive line. Is it going to hold up? That's another thing people are talking about. And I like what I saw in the first preseason game from our offensive line. Obviously, besides Brandon Parker, everyone's talking about it. Everyone knows that he got beat bad. Yes. So who's going to step in there? Who's going to be that guy? But Cole Miller wasn't out there. No. Cole Miller wasn't out there. We got other guys that can fill in. I think Al Manor is better than Parker, and he can compete.
And you still got to see what Parham does, or at the third-round pick.
We're not even talking about Dylan Parham yet. Yes. So we have a lot of people that can fight for these jobs and battle it out, and the best man will win. And I'm sure it's going to be a good player coming out of there. Good players, all good line coming out of this battle, this offensive line battle we have.
Yeah, I think the only question maybe on the offense is just the line. I mean, Colton is going to hold it down, and he's been excellent. Outside of his first year in the league, he's just been excellent in protecting Carr. And I thought he was a Pro Bowl talent last year. It was a little snub there, but I mean the rest, it'll be a work in progress. We'll see, but. Like you said, I mean, it's going to be a battle, but you got Andre James, you got Cotton, you got...
But the good thing about this line is that Colton Miller is the oldest guy on this line at 27 years old, I believe. Yes. At 27 years old. And this line's only going to get better throughout week for week, practice for practice, game for game. Yeah. That's the good thing about this line. It's not like an old line.
And you know what, too? I mean, whatever five we put out or whatever, in this past couple years... Our line's been very inconsistent, and I'm talking about lineup wise because your 5 week 1 weren't your 5 week 2, and it just seemed like people were coming in and out. Incognito got hurt, Good got hurt. You go trade Rodney Hudson, a couple years ago, and it's just everything was in and out. I think now a little bit of stability would be great, and so that they can just play with each other.
And these know each other can just move on. Yes, with Carr throughout these years. Yes, and then the other question mark. I mean, there's question marks everywhere for every team. Yes, but talking about our secondary a little bit. talking about our line a little bit, talking about just our whole defense a little bit. But I thought our defense took a huge leap last year.
Yeah.
From the year prior.
Yes.
And then we kept most of the same guys, and we even upgraded. So I think I'm pretty excited for this defense, and especially the way we looked in the preseason game
with pressures.
I mean, not even just that, but like it didn't even look like we did anything spectacular. But still, they really only scored 3 the whole entire game, and they scored some garbage points at the end.
Yeah. I mean, we can hit on everything. I mean, you go trade for Rocky Sin, which is a good young talent.
He didn't play in the
Hall of Fame game, but you go trade for him. I know we've kind of talked about this. You got Mullen coming back. Hopefully it's a good trade.
Hopefully he stays healthy.
Hopefully he stays healthy. Hopefully it's a good Mullen coming back. The big acquisition of Chandler Jones, and then you go get better at that spot.
Yeah.
And I mean, our Pro Bowler Max on the other side. I mean, he's getting. I saw him. He looked even bigger.
Yeah.
And it's exciting to see. And our linebackers are going to be good. Perriman's coming back.
With Diablo.
And a surprising move last year. You go trade for Perriman. Like, okay, we just need linebacker help. He comes out, almost leads the league in tackles, and he's a Pro Bowler.
Yes.
Merrick's gonna look good. See what they do with Abram.
Yeah, see if Abram could be a big piece of this team, big part of this team.
Yes.
We can see the talent, but see if we can put it together.
Yeah.
And I think I think we have better coaching this year, and hopefully they can coach them up. All these guys.
Abram's gonna do well against running teams.
Yes.
And you saw that. You put him in the box, he's gonna go in there. He's gonna tackle some people hard.
Against the Browns, he had a great game last year. Yes. And a huge game, must-win game.
Mm-hmm. And then you put him in a coverage, and that's where he gets lost a little bit and doesn't look good. Hopefully you can coach him up a little bit, get him better. Hopefully he gets better himself. And that secondary would be really good.
Yeah, and then the only question mark on the line, I think the inside's going to be a battle. I hope maybe we can make an acquisition of Dominic Sue.
Yeah,
which would be great. But I think the edge guys besides Chandler Jones and Max Crosby, who's gonna be working in and out. But I think Kuntz had a pretty good day.
Yeah.
In the Hall of Fame game. So hopefully those guys can keep pushing and kind of cement their role on the team.
And you know what, too? I mean, it seems like Raiders always make a move a week or two before the season starts. D Ford just got cut too. So that's even more depth that you can explore. I know we got money. We're still looking at Sue, and maybe you go look at a D Ford, and see about your edge, because I don't know the extent of it, but I know Chandler hasn't been on the practice field for some time now, and he's been out. So who knows?
Speaking of free agents, Odell Beckham posted a story about DC and Devontae. What do you think about that? How would you feel about that? I think we talked about it before, but how would you feel about Odell Beckham Jr. in the silver and black?
You go get him. He won't be ready in halfway in the season.
Yes.
And when he gets his legs back and gets ready to go, learns the playbook and everything, he'll be ready. November, December, that's playoff time.
Yeah.
So that's someone that we could need, because it's Devontae, it's Renfro, Waller. Then you go throw OBJ out there. That would be crazy.
And call me crazy, but for that first half in the Super Bowl, he looked like the number one wide receiver on that football team.
He looked good.
He looked like the number one receiver on the football team, for sure. He looked better than Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
In that Super Bowl, for sure. So he still got it. He still got it.
And he's gonna sign cheap.
Yeah.
It's already. We're already a month from regular season.
Yes.
I know preseason technically hasn't started yet, but we're about a month away from regular season, and he's gonna sign cheap. And it's not like we're gonna go out and give him a 4-year, $100 million deal or anything. No, you're gonna sit there and it's gonna be cheap. It's gonna be a prove it deal again.
Yeah.
To see how he bounces back from the ACL, but man, that would be dangerous. That would be really, really dangerous. Come playoff time, that November, December ball, you go out there with the weapons you already have now and OBJ, you will be unstoppable. Yeah, it's not even a might be or whatever. You will be unstoppable.
He's gonna fit perfect in this scheme, Josh McDaniels scheme, because he can go deep. He can go deep. Has the home run speed, but He's fast.
Yeah.
And you can set those screens for him.
He can move.
He can move. You can do whatever you want for him. So those bubble screens might be OBJ all day. And then we saw the other wide receivers. They look good too.
Yeah.
Some of the other guys. So it's gonna be fun. Tyron Johnson looked good.
Yeah.
We'll never know how he's gonna look. He looks like he has the ability to be a star.
Yeah.
His ceiling's pretty high, so I'm pumped up about him. Obviously, he's not there yet, but we'll see how he progresses throughout the weeks in camp and in preseason.
Yeah, I mean, we hit it last episode of how fast and, you know, how much he was moving. You know, when we saw him live, you know, just kickoff returns, and then you kind of really see him in the Hall of Fame game. And, yeah, I mean, he looked good. You know, there's still a lot of room for improvement. He's still, you know, he dropped a couple balls, you know, whatever. But just preseason, you know, got to learn, got to adjust a little bit. But he did. He looked really good.
Yeah, with that being said, I mean, there's other reporters out there, other critics that are rooting for us and think we're gonna do good.
Yeah,
Rich Eisen.
Eisen's a big one.
I think Rich Eisen sees the big picture. I think he sees what's happening here. I think he sees what we're doing.
And it's good, you know, because you see all these football minds and they're just, no, Raiders not gonna do it. Raiders not gonna do it. Rich Eisen is a big football mind, and he's the one that
one of the biggest in the league.
I respect and trust the most. You know, if he says, you know, about another team or whatever, you know, I'm
gonna trust.
Yeah,
you're gonna trust Rich Eisen.
Yes,
and he's friends with Mike Mayock.
Yes,
who the Raiders just fired.
Yeah,
best friends with Mike Mayock.
Yeah.
Would you think he would hold a grudge?
Yeah,
in a way.
You know, and he was pumped up last year. I remember, you know, watching his show, and he was pumped up last year about the Raider-Charger game. And, you know, he kept on saying, man, I hope Raiders win. I hope Raiders do this. He picked Chargers to win, but he says, man, I hope Raiders can pull it off. This would be a great story, this and that. I think that got him to believe. And what we did this year, now he's, you know, he knows we're going to win the division. Yep. You know, and he sees a lot of great things, and he loves what we did. And, you know, I know we just said it, you know, they have ties with the Raiders, but it seems like Maurice Jones-Drew, you know, with the whole Carr's going to be better than Russell this year. And, you know, James Jones, that's, you know, him and Carr were close to Carr's first year. And, you know, talking about how good Devontae and Carr's going to be and everything. And then, you know, even David Carr, you know, I think David Carr, he's a good football mind, has the first ears about the Raiders. Yeah, you know, because of his, you know, Derek's there and everything, and, you know, the stuff that he says and, you know, what he sees. I mean, I trust it. And, you know, I love anything positive about the Raiders. And, you know, when people talk good about the Raiders, you know, on ESPN, NFL Network, or, you know, podcasts or whatever, it just excites me because, you know, you get that little recognition, you get that little respect.
Yeah, I mean, it pumps me up whenever we get that respect, because I feel like there's a lot of people that do not like the Raiders. Yeah. And even if we were, you know, stacked up, had the best team in football, they're not going to admit it. But it's good to hear when people show respect.
And, you know what I hope too for this season, you know, because it always seems Raiders get a big win, right? Raiders go get a big win against the Ravens. And the next morning on First Take or Skip and Shannon, it's not about how the Raiders won. It's about
how the Ravens lost.
How the Ravens lost it.
Yes.
Or, you know, big Thanksgiving showdown, we beat the Cowboys. It's not about, hey, Raiders did it, this and that. It's about how the Cowboys blew it. What pissed me off the most was we just beat the Chargers. We're in the playoffs.
Yes.
You know, it's a 10-minute segment. 1 minute's about the Raiders. Hey, they did it. Okay, yeah, cool, this and that. But Chargers, man, what were they thinking? The timeout, this, the that. They should have done this. Then they go back to that Houston game, and they should have beat Houston, and they would have been in, or did this and did that. It's like, it was a big win, and you're going to sit there and talk about...
give us our flowers.
You're going to sit there and talk about how that team lost, and it just seems it's always like that, you know? And, I mean, you know, for the last 4 weeks
that's what just makes you want them to win even more.
You know, the last 4 weeks last year,
that's Raiders, what makes everyone feel more important.
Yeah, Raiders had a really good story the last 4 weeks last year. You know, no matter what team it was, whatever, you're 6-7, you go win 4 straight hard games. Yeah, you know, and you win it. Any other team, it would have been like, man, this is a good story. This and that. Those 4 games were about how the Colts lost it, how the Browns lost it, how Denver lost it, and how, you know, Chargers lost it. Yes. You know, and then at the end, you know, I think Rich Eisen was the only one. Hey, this is a really good story. This is that. You're right. A little bit more flowers, a little bit more respect this year. So, you know, when we go do these wins, get these wins, they're talking about the Raiders and how DC did, or what our offense did, or McDaniels, instead of, well, you know, they beat the Chargers, but Chargers basically did it to themselves because they did this, they did that, you know. That's the only thing that pisses me off just a little bit.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, that's good. That goes along with the critics talking about us.
Yes.
And that happens a lot, and that really does. I mean, it pisses me off too.
You get excited.
It pisses all Raider fans off because you wake up Sunday morning or whenever they play, and you're pumped up. You want to hear everyone talk. You want to hear all these people praising your team, giving your team flowers, pumping up your team. But it seems like they always don't really talk about us at all. Don't really put us down, but they don't talk about us. They kind of talk about the other team more, how they blew it against a Raider team.
Yeah.
But hopefully this year we can turn some heads, and hopefully we can win some football games and dominate some football games. So that scenario is not even possible.
Yeah. So they look like, whoa, this team's for real.
Yes.
So
it just looks like ass whoopings.
Yes.
They don't even look like close games. Like, oh, that team, if they would have done this, they would have done that. It would have been different.
Yeah.
Hopefully we just whoop ass this year, and we can come out on top, and then everyone can just praise us and give us our flowers.
No anxiety this year. No anxiety.
Oh, there's gonna be anxiety. first game is gonna be anxiety.
No, yeah.
But it's gonna be a fun year.
It's gonna be a really fun year, and we kind of text this, and just what we did last year, you built off of that.
Yes.
And you saw them yesterday, and it looked fun. It looked good. And everybody looked like they were having a fun time, and it just looked smooth, and I'm excited for the season. I'm excited to, do this every week. The season's going to be really fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And, we were just talking about the critics a little bit. We just wanted to kind of, whatever their thoughts were about us, the reason why we're not going to be a top team in the AFC West, we just wanted to kind of talk about them and kind of debunk them a little bit.
Yeah.
In a way, kind of share our side of it, the Raider side of it, because we are on the Raider side. We're not the biased side. So we just wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see. In my mind, we're going to win the division.
Yeah.
Probably going to go 13-4. We're going to shock some.
Probably going to go like
people.
Probably going to go like 17-0 or something. Win division, win the conference, have home field advantage,
go to the Super Bowl,
and then go to Arizona and win the Super Bowl, something like that. Is that what we're going to do?
That sounds good. No, that sounds really good. But I think we know what this team is capable of. Team. And what we're going to do, and, I think come late January, we are going to be playing.
Yeah.
I don't care how it is, what the record is, how we got in. I think come late January, we will be playing football.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Raider football comes back in about a month from now. About a little over a month from now. We'll be in LA playing the Chargers, but until then, got a couple of preseason games left, got some camp to go, got some players to cut, got to cut this team down, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what team they put on the field week 1. We're excited, but we'll see you guys on next Raider Talks. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.